Folks, hello and welcome to Tavern Chat. I am Eric Tenkar, your bartender in the OSR. Today is 9/11, and it's been 22 years since the events of 9/11/01. It was a Tuesday. If you were in New York City, it was a beautiful morning. Kind of still strikes out, and I still remember that. At the time, I had four friends working at the World Trade Center in various buildings. Didn't even know it. I mean, we knew it kind of, but this was my old gaming group. High school, college, stuck together and gamed on a pretty much weekly basis up until, I don't know, 2017, when my hours changed as I got out of the academy and I did no longer had weekends off, and I no longer was working days. And so it was a long day for me. It was a miserable day for so many people. And when I got home that day and talked to my parents, they told me they were speaking to numerous friends of mine who were checking in on me because of my occupation, and letting me know that they were okay, and for me to keep an eye out for Paul and his tag watch and other things that would identify. When you're telling somebody look out for a watch, it meant that my friends were not expected to find Paul Benedetti alive. Right? When I came home that night, that was shocking news. It was shocking. Uh, Paul, like many that was lost on 9/11, whether they were emergency responders or whether they were workers, whether they were employees in the buildings, Paul's remains have never been found. These are the people that we need to remember. The people that were lost, the people that we are still losing. People are still getting sick 22 years later from 9/11 related illnesses because of the fucking toxic air that your own government, Governor Christine Whitman, told us the air was safe to breathe a week later because they knew. But your government told the emergency workers, told the residents of Manhattan and the area that the air was safe to breathe because if you told them otherwise, nothing would have gotten done. I understand that. It doesn't make it better. We lost Paul 22 years ago. A member of my gaming group, my core group of friends, me and my friends make sure we keep in contact throughout the year, but we get together once a year in the spring, not in the fall, not around 9/11. We celebrate Paul's birthday. We don't celebrate his loss. We celebrate what he brought to us. So this was a Facebook post in memoriam of September 11th. It was put up in 2021. Excuse me. Today we pay tribute to Paul Michael Benedetti, who died on 9/11/01 with so many other people. Oh my God. Always able to laugh. No matter what calamity befell Paul Benedetti in his life, his response was inevitable. A joke. That's when he escaped the 9/11 bombing of the World Trade Center. Finding smoke as he made a harrowing trek down the stairs, he never made much of it, except on occasion for a funny story. Said his wife Alessandra, the joke involved a very large lady ahead of him, walking down the stairs slowly. blocking the way. I heard that story, but he also heard the full story. Paul could have left her behind. He didn't. He encouraged her to keep on walking. Then there were the voices from The Simpsons, which he loved to imitate. Not to mention the afterthought where he rigs so Homer's distress word, dough, popped up electronically whenever users made a mistake. Actually, Mr. Benedetti, 32. 32. 32. Way too young to be lost. Was a serious man, but he made his wit into a management tool at Aon Corporation, where he was an assistant director of the Client Relationship Services Department. I know that if he'd been trapped somewhere, he'd have been joking around, whatever the situation, his wife said, trying to break the tension. So what Paul actually did that day was he called home and told his wife, Alessandra, listen, plane hit the tower. I'm going to probably be home early. It still will have been a long day. Can you please have my scotch waiting for me? Now, I was told that he was the only one that didn't make it out of the office because he took it upon himself to make sure everybody else got out. Your heroes aren't just the cops, the firemen, the EMTs, the other emergency workers, people that responded. Your heroes were there. Your occupation doesn't make you a hero. Your actions are what makes you a hero. We lost too many people that day as a country, as a civilization. We continue to lose people. People continue to get sick. I found out yesterday that one of the 8 cops and the sergeant we went down with on 9/11, one of my fellow officers has come down with leukemia, 9/11 related. It doesn't stop. It doesn't stop. If you are a member of this society and you pray for the people that have been lost, pray for the people that have survived and are still dealing with those issues, and pray for their families. And if you're not that spiritual, if you don't pray, if you have good wishes, goodwill, kind thoughts, sometimes that's all we have. Sometimes that's all we need. So, on 9/11, I leave you with that. Please be good to each other, okay? Because you only get one time around on this pile of mud. One shot at. Make the most of it. Appreciate those you got. Thank you. And God bless.